Today's show is brought to you by the incredible On Top of the World Chorus. Back in December, we gave you a sneak preview of their holiday concert. And see, if you caught that episode, you already know the group is more than about just beautiful harmony. They're about community, connections, and telling powerful stories through music. So, okay, this April, they're back with a very special performance celebrating our country's 250th birthday, honoring America's journey through song, the moments, the memories, and the music that shaped who we are. If you're looking for something meaningful, uplifting, and truly local to experience right here in Ocala, you don't want to miss it. Stick around. And now, let's get to today's conversation. Hey, everybody, Jack Barrows here. Many of you know me as Jackie B. After 40 years behind the microphone as a club and mobile DJ, I'm bringing that same energy right here to Main Street. Welcome to Voices on Main Street, where local businesses get a real voice and a real spotlight. Now, before we dive in, I want to take a minute and talk about why we do this. Our mission at Voice on Main Street is to help local businesses grow their visibility, strengthen their influence, and build real authority here in the community. We shine the spotlight, but it takes whole Voices on Main Street family to lift them up. Stick around. I'm going to show you how we give our guests the Voices on Main Street family boost. Now, right alongside that, we do have something we call Voices for the Voiceless. And that's our commitment to support no kill, no research animal shelters, rescues, and adoption facilities. The folks who are out there protecting animals that can't speak for themselves. So when you listen to the show, you're not just hearing business stories, you're part of a bigger effort to give a real voice and real support to people and organizations that don't have a big marketing budget or a media machine behind them. You ready? Let's get into it. All right. Today, we're sitting down with Brian Curl from Cool Time Appliance Repair. Now, you want to listen to this one. If you've ever had a refrigerator, washer, dryer, oven, or dishwasher, go down at the worst possible time. Because today, we're breaking down what actually matters, what to pay attention to, what to avoid, and how to make smarter decisions. This is practical insight from someone doing the work every day. So let's jump in. Hey, Brian, welcome to Voices on Main Street. How you doing, brother?
Hi, Jack. Good today. Thank you.
That's awesome. Awesome. We always start the same way, and that's with our pass the mic. So our last guest was Pete Antanavica, a chiropractor up in Leicester, Massachusetts, and he is really taking modern medicine to a new level and natural healing with regenerative medicine. Now, what he said asked is, in short, what have you done about retiring from your business, or what plans have you made? In short, what have you done about for your exit strategy, Brian?
My exercise, well, I've never really thought about retiring completely. I always feel like I'm going to be doing something as long as I can, as long as I'm able to, because I enjoy repairing things. I enjoy problem solving. And matter of fact, I'm 60 years old, and I just got through with 3 years of online schooling for another occupation that I had an interest in. So as far as my exit strategy, I do live in the Villages in Florida, which is a retirement community, and enjoying life here, and looking at maybe working more part-time job here or there, but I'll probably always work until I drop. A friend of mine once said, they asked him when he was going to retire, and he said, that sound you make when you take your last breath, that's when it'll happen. So that's probably something like I would say. So
That's I feel exactly the same way. At 70 years, I literally think I have found what I was meant to do in life. I'm
yeah,
combining 40 years as a DJ with marketing and up business. So that's really awesome.
yeah.
Now remember, at the end of the show, Brian is going to give us a question for the next guest to come on the show. All right. Excuse me. All right, folks. Now we're going to go into one of the most valuable parts of the show, and that is our People Are Asking segment. Now, these are real questions that people are typing into Google. They're asking Siri or Alexa for these answers. So here we go. First one. Which appliances can you repair, Brian?
Washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, dishwashers, just general household appliances, and most major brands. I was factory trained on most of the major brands. I had a appliance company in Kansas before I moved to Florida for 16 years, and I did warranty work for all the major companies. So I was factory trained with all of those companies. I only do non-warranty now, but I was factory trained and certified through all the companies when I worked for them.
And I love that. So now I want you to give me the 30-second version of what appliances can you repair?
All household appliances, washers, dryers, refrigerators, microwaves, dishwashers.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Now, this is kind of a general question, but how quickly can someone typically come out to look at my appliances?
Same day or next day if the customer's available.
That's awesome. Awesome. Now, again, these are general questions, but what would a repair cost? And do I get an estimate up front?
What I do is I do a diagnostic fee, which is $90 to come out, look at the appliance, diagnose it, find out what's wrong with it. If I can repair it without parts, normal labor repairs anywhere from 100 to 120 to $130. That's total. That's including the diagnostic fee. You know, there's companies out there that'll say free diagnostic fee with repair. Well, basically, they're just taking the diagnostic fee off what you've already, or the labor off of what you've already paid. So, and that's what it is. So you pay me $90, I tell you what's wrong with it, how much it's going to cost to fix it. If we need to order parts, of course, you have to pay for the parts and shipping and any taxes there. And then when I come back, let's say it's a $90 diagnostic and I come back, well, your labor on $20 is going to be, or on $120 is going to be $30 more on labor is all you're going to pay. And then whatever the part and the shipping and tax was. So that's how I do my business. There are times when if I have to go a long ways, there are some places in the villages where I live that's 30 minutes one way. So I've got an hour drive time. So I may charge $95 for a diagnostic fee, depending on if I have to go way out just to cover my cost of rolling my vehicle. So
Great. How do I know if I need to repair or replace the appliance?
rule of thumb, if the appliance is going to cost you more than, if it's 5 years old or older and it's going to cost you more than 50% of what a new one would be, you're better off replacing with something with warranty. Life expectancy on all appliances these days is anywhere from 7 to 10 years before you start having to put a lot of money into them to repair them.
Okay, nice. Good. Good. You offer a warranty on parts and labor?
I give a 30-day labor warranty because if I put it in wrong, it's not going to work from the get-go. And then I get whatever the warranty is from the manufacturer on the part that we put in. Usually on a part that you replace, most companies are 60 to 90-day warranty for parts. There are some parts that come in that have a 1-year warranty on them, but not too many of them anymore.
Yeah, it don't seem like things are made to last like they used to be.
No, they want you to buy new ones, you know, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Are you trained, certified, insured, and all that good stuff?
I'm registered with the state of Florida, insured. I am factory trained by most of the major companies. I did warranty work for 16 years for Whirlpool, Frigidaire, LG, Samsung, GE. So
We have the background. That's awesome. Now, can I schedule an appointment online or do I do it by phone? Or
do it by
both?
phone. Do it by phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By phone. All right. All right. Now, what type of parts do you use? Genuine or OEM parts for repairs?
OEM parts only. I supply the parts because that's the only way that I can ensure that if I do a warranty on parts, that I'm going to be covered on it. I don't do third-party parts because they just don't last.
I see. So that kind of brings me to my next question. Can I bring my own parts or do I have to buy through your repair service?
No, most of the time I'm going to require you to let me order the part to make sure that we get an OEM part.
Mhm.
There have been times over the years when somebody that, they had a part and, I'll just shoot them a price on putting it in. But for the most part, another thing is that a lot of people will Google things nowadays. and they'll see, oh, my refrigerator is leaking out the front. So it's something going on with the thermostat is what Google says. Well, it's not the thermostat. I get out there, they've ordered a part, and it's not the thermostat. They've got a clogged drain line or something else going on, or their ice maker's quit working and it's dumping water out. And so then they've ordered a part, and I'm still having to order the part, or they want to order the part, and I have to wait for them to get it in and schedule around them. And if I'm got other clients scheduled, it's too much back and forth, and it's just easier to make sure that we get the right part for the right problem the first time. So
Leave it to the professionals, right?
yeah.
Do you offer any discounts or special pricing for veterans or senior citizens or anything like that?
Occasionally through the year, I'll run specials like during holidays and things like that. Yeah.
All right, I just want to take a quick moment to tell you what makes Voices on Main Street different. If you're watching this episode, it's because you want real answers. And that's what Voices on Main Street is built around, asking the questions that people are already asking, whether they're typing it into Google, asking Alexa, Siri, or even your friends. These are the questions that matter before you spend your time, your money, or your trust. Every conversation you hear on this show is all about clarity, understanding how things really work straight from the people living and working right here in your community. And when you tune in, you're doing more than listening. You're helping shine a light on local voices, the local businesses, and local stories that deserve to be heard. So this conversation is helping you. Stick with us, and let's keep moving Main Street forward together. All right, back to the show. And that kind of wraps up our People Are Asking segment. Now, we handled the business side. Let's get personal for a minute. The goal here is kind of human, relatable, authentic.
Sure.
What's something about your journey that people might be surprised to learn?
Oh, my journey started when of course, I was raised on a ranch and learned to work on many things with my dad. My dad was a mechanic and a handyman, and I was actually working for a photo development company, and every year they would do a layoff, and I was laid off, waiting to go back to work. And my wife was gone and our oven went down. And I called her and I said, well, the oven went down. I ordered a new heating element for it, bake element. And she said, I forget you know how to do that. Well, I was like, appliance repair would be interesting. And so I started checking into it. And I actually found a gentleman in my hometown that was born and raised there. He was a Sears servicer for 30 years before he retired, and he was looking to pass his customers on to somebody new because he had had bypass surgery. And he said, I just haven't found anybody that I trust. And so he mentored me. I would go out and do jobs, and if I got stuck, he would come out and help me, or he'd talk to me over the phone, walk me through it. And then whenever I did apply for my first warranty company, which was Whirlpool, they had me test out to see if I needed to go to training or if I could do the work. And I'd been doing service work at that point for about a year. And so I got authorized with them. And as soon as Whirlpool authorized me, well, all the other companies started calling me because they needed authorized servicers in my area. And I did warranty work and non-warranty for 40 zip codes in 3 different states. I was running all day, every day. My wife ran my office, and I did have servicers that I trained that worked for me over the years at times too, because we got so busy. But we lived right in the corner of Kansas, so I was able to do Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma.
Wow.
That was my journey in getting into the appliance business. So, and it's a good business. I get to meet a lot of nice people and some interesting people too. So, uh,
Yeah, I'm sure. Awesome, awesome. All right, that's amazing. And so now we're gonna do something we called the local loop. So this is our mystery wheel, and where the wheel lands determines what the outcome will be. So here are some possible outcomes. You got the local love drop. That's where Brian will offer a special discount or gift to our audience. We get the local lift where he's going to shout out to another local business. A pro tip drop where he gives us some inside information behind the biz, where we talk about something about the biz. We got a wild card question, and then we got the bombs pushes where we push the audience to help us out. On around she goes. Where it's going to stop, who knows? We will see. And right now, it's going to be the yeah, the local lift. All right.
Local live.
So local lift, that's where you give a shout out to a local business that that you feel that our guests uh, would be served properly.
There is a handyman here in the area that I've known for quite a while that's very reputable and he does a great job. Very trustworthy. His name is Chris Timmerman, and his phone number is 303-669-7011.
Awesome. That's almost giving work to your competitor, isn't it?
He doesn't do appliances. He does
Ah,
remodels and those kind of things.
smart man, smart man. All right. I'm glad to get that clarification. Awesome. All right. That was our local loop, folks, the mystery wheel that we do every time. And now we want Brian to give us a little local tip. And I want you folks to always get value out of our shows. So let me ask you this, Brian. What's a local tip or an action maybe that our viewers should do to maintain the life of our appliances?
On your refrigerators, always make sure that the coils are cleaned. Some coils are at the back behind a panel at the bottom, and some are underneath. If you pull the panel, there'll be a panel at the front lower half. That would be one thing. The other main thing that I see is on front load washers. Between washings, leave the door open. The rubber seal on the washer, people will have problems with odor. What happens is this rubber is porous and it doesn't dry unless you air dry it. So when you close the door, you're sealing off the moisture in that rubber, and it'll cause mold and mildew and cause an odor, and it'll also start turning black. And the only way to get rid of that odor, and it gets into your clothes, the only way to get rid of that is to have a whole new boot put on, which is a pricey repair. So always leave the door open between washes so that boot around the door can air dry.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. I personally thanking you for that because we had encountered that odor problem and didn't know where it came from.
Yes.
So thank you for that. That's
Mhm.
that's excellent. Excellent. Okay. All right, Brian. Up to this point, I've been leading the conversation, asking you the questions. What I'm going to do is our next segment is called Flip the Mic. And this is on you. You have three options here. You can flip the mic and ask me a question. I will say that I haven't asked how I got into doing the show previously, so maybe come up with something different. The second thing is you can give a shout out to someone else, or it's an open mic moment. You can do whatever you want to do, anything that you want the community here. Sir, the mic is yours.
So how long have you been a DJ?
So I was a DJ for 40 years. Yeah, 40.
Where at?
I never aspired to radio. I like the people in front of me. My greatest joy is when I play a song. I was a dance DJ. I was all about if a crowd didn't dance, to me was I didn't do my job.
Right.
And so I never aspired to radio. And so this podcast is kind of the culmination of that. The DJ thing believe it or not, was always my side gig. I never said
Yeah.
this is my job. Right? It was even right up to the last 5 years. I retired at 66 as a DJ in a gentleman's club that I was running at the time. So, but it was still my side gig. I was doing marketing. Marketing was my job. And now it's like I've combined the DJing with the marketing, and it's me. It's because I don't like talking about myself. I like shining the spotlight on other people. That's why I love doing the weddings because it was always about the bride and groom. And in this case, it's always about my guests. So that's kind of how I got that. All right.
That's
Thank you for
fun.
that.
Uh-huh.
All right, folks. Some of you may remember back in what was it, the 80s, 90s, time to make the donuts. So if you recall, it was all about, I think it was Dunkin' Donuts and the baker got up every morning. But the bottom line was time to make the donuts was it's time to make money. One of the biggest mistakes homeowners make is replacing an appliance before they need to. Tool time appliance repair helps people understand what's actually wrong with their appliance and whether a repair makes sense or not. That honesty saves people from unnecessary expenses and repeat problems. From everyday breakdowns to appliances that just aren't performing like they used to, Tool Time Appliance Repair delivers a reliable service and straightforward advice you can trust. If your appliance is acting up, this is the kind of local expertise that makes the difference.
I used to, I was going to tell you, my sister and my ex-brother-in-law, they had a mobile DJ company and photography and video company in Tulsa, Oklahoma for years. And I used
Mhm.
to go and do DJ jobs for him, and I'd do video and photography for my sister if they doubled up on jobs. I'd go up there and work for them
Oh,
just about every weekend. I did something for them. So I know doing the weddings and the birthday parties and yeah. You don't see
you
that
know,
too much anymore, but
that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. People don't realize though when you're doing a party, if the dance floor is empty, it's like a 200-pound gorilla on your chest. It's like, okay,
yeah.
now what do I do? All right. Okay, so now we come to our next segment, folks. Where you remember we started this off, and Brian answered a question from Dr. Pete Antanavica about his exit strategy, and his exit strategy kind of matches mine. Is we're going to work until we can't work anymore. You know, when they close that lid, okay, I'm done. All right. So now, Brian, it's on you. Before we wrap, we want you to leave a question for our next guest. Something open-ended, story-based, whatever you want to be. What's your question for our next guest?
If you weren't doing what you're doing for a living, what would have been your other job that you would have done?
Nice. I like that. I like that. That's awesome. All right, folks, you heard that's the next question. You have to watch the next episode to get their answer. Okay. So now, folks, it's time for the bomb boost, we call it. All right, Voices on Main Street family. This is where we turn listening into action. Now, you just heard Brian Curl share his story, his expertise, and a whole lot of value that most people would normally have to pay for. Most local businesses don't have big ad budgets or PR firms, but they do have a voice. And when they come on this show, we're saying, hey, you matter, your work matters, and your story deserves to be heard. Now, it's your turn, folks, to help carry that voice a little further. Like their content, share this episode with someone who needs it. Follow their page or profile, subscribe to the show so you don't miss future conversations. The best way to show Tool Time Appliance Repair some love specifically is go to the Nextdoor platform, leave them a comment. Or if you're already a customer or you become one, this part is huge. Leave a Google review. A Google review is the single greatest online action you can take for a local business. It helps them get found, it builds trust with new customers, and it costs you nothing but a minute of your time. So, folks, go like, share, follow, subscribe. And if Tool Time Appliance Repair has helped you or someone you know, go drop them a real, honest Google review and tell people what they did for you. That's what we do here. That's how this community lifts each other up. All right. And for the people who stayed to the end, we truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you sticking around. I know you have a lot of other things that you could watch. But at this time, I'm going to ask Brian. He has something special for our guest. Brian, what do you got for those that stayed all the way to the end for us?
If you've watched this show and you mention it when I'm at your house for a diagnostic, you'll get 25% off your diagnostic charge that day.
All right. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. All right, folks, you heard that. Give Brian a call. True Time Appliance Repair. Anyone that mentions Voices on Main Street get 25% off their diagnostic repair costs. That's amazing. Awesome. And all right, folks, for more bonus clips, more conversations like this, visit voicesonmainstreet.com. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next show. Brian, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you, Jack.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you this. Voices like the one you heard today don't happen by accident. They're powered by local businesses who believe in showing up for their community. If you're a business owner who wants to be seen, heard, and trusted, right here on Main Street, sponsoring Voices on Main Street. Put your message in front of an engaged local audience that actually listens. Our sponsors aren't interrupting the conversation. They're part of it. Your business gets aligned with real stories, real people, and real community impact. Again, if that sounds like the kind of visibility you want, reach out to us and let's talk about becoming a sponsor. Thanks for being part of the Voices on Main Street family, and we'll see you the next time.